What's going on YouTube? Achilles here, and today we're going to be playing Mono Black Skeletons. Everyone knows this deck. When Outlaws came out, the majority of the skeletons came out, making this deck a thing, and it's been in Standard ever since. Let's get right into the deck. We got 4 Cult Conscript, 4 Cut Down, 4 Forsaken Miner, 4 Tinybones Joins Up, 4 Tinybones the Pickpocket, 4 Case of the Stash Skeleton, 4 Go for the Throat, 4 Corpses of the Lost, 4 Gisa the Hellraiser, 22 Swamps, 2 Mishra's Foundry, and yeah, that's the deck in a nutshell. Let's get right into it. This deck plays pretty aggressive, giving other aggro decks a run for its money. But what's cool about this deck is that it has a pretty big ceiling compared to other aggressive decks. So, depending on what your matchup is, you could grind out your opponent, outlast them. So, let's see what we got going. I don't think anything from the previous standard sets that rotated out affected this deck. I think it's still the same deck the way it was. I'm going to start off with Tinybones Joins Up, just so I could get the mill off with Tinybones when it enters, giving Tinybones more value if it attacks. It's all about the value. Here we go against good old Mono Red, or Rakdos, whatever it may be. Alright, so this is how we're going to do it. Go for Tinybones. And we'll go for this. If I could just stop them in their tracks, that's all I care about. Yep, I was gonna say, are you gonna do something about that? Really? Double shock. I am shocked about all these shocks. Okay, so we're gonna play this just so our opponent has something to think about. Although, we're just gonna go for the throat. I'm just gonna take 1. I will take 3. Going down to 13. Okay, so this is where we start to get some things going. So we get another skeleton. And we hold Go for the Throat and pass. Perfect. We wanted that to happen. So now it goes over to our turn. So now this is where Mishra's Foundry starts to shine. I know other people in some lists play that colorless land that can make something not block or something like that. But in all reality, if you have to get a little extra damage in, I'd rather play Mishra's Foundry. That's just me personally. Okay, so they go for that. They're gonna definitely buff it if I had to guess. I'm gonna get rid of it either way. I don't want to take any more damage. Get another land. We're gonna sacrifice this to get Gisa to hand. Gisa, Gisa, whatever. I always butcher every name. I can't play this turn, but I'm just gonna go for Mishra's Foundry. I could have went for anything else, but Tinybones Joins Up will trigger this, so it'll get the zombie rogues on the field. So that's pretty relevant. So now we target them, we commit a crime this way. And our opponent is probably going to scoop at this point. Yes, that is what you are reading. Gonna go for another case of the stash skeleton. A lot of damage coming their way. And a Cult Conscript also. Okay, opponent. You got me down to 7. You're going to draw a card that says deal 7 damage to me. Nope. Imagine. It's just the hidden card of the set. Deals 7 damage to target opponent. Alright, so that's the first game of this video. So far, so good. Against one of the most angry decks. Although that wasn't the mono red / Rakdos deck that plays like the prowess build with the little mouse dude and everything. So that's not the best aggro deck we could have went up against. So I always keep that in mind. I want to see how I perform against the best decks that you're going to run into. This hand is unkeepable with the 1 swamp. I'll keep this one with the 2 swamps. The question is, what do I put back? It's a great question. Yeah, I'll keep it, but... Put back the Forsaken Miner. I'd rather keep the Tinybones. Just in case I have to trade with something, I could 1-for-1 a card where the other one just has 1 more attack. It's not going to do me as much. I'm just trying to get as much value out of each card as I can. So that's good. That's actually really relevant with the Tinybones now. We are going to play the Tinybones. Getting our opponent now to 19 million a card. Corpses of the Lost is gonna save the day. I love this card. Speaking of Corpses of the Lost, there's a lot of, you can just bring it back to the hand, it gets a lot of value that way, which is cool. Can't let them have that. That'll work.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me. I've always hated crowds.
Go for another one. So you will hit you, and you will hit you. Now I will.
Sorry,
I did not descend. To. Oh, it has to be my graveyard. I forgot. I see. It's been so long since I played this deck since rotation. It's mono black skeletons. Okay, so drew another land, but what's nice is that if I draw my 5-drop, Gisa, yeah, I'm gonna get things going. I don't have to say it. Alright, opponent, block. You know you want to. You know you want to. Okay, so they're gonna do some things. I should have kept the land in my hand when I was attacking just to scare him a little bit more. But it'll work itself out. Okay.
Embrace metal. All becomes stone.
Okay, so now I'm in a pickle. The Vraska is they're gonna go for the win con, but oh well. Technically they can't. But that is gonna win them the duel. I just keep saying duel. But different card games. This is Magic again. Ain't dueling. Fucking Magic. And would you look at that? Gaki. Oh no. But now we get to descend. Uh-oh, their opponent got shouldered.
Patience. We will win.
Oh, this ain't looking good. Yeah. Our opponent has this one. What a shame. That Golgari deck is really cool. I'm gonna have to get to that one eventually too. Everyone's been playing it. That deck, that I just lost to, kind of makes you think like if you're a control player and if you're just playing a control deck, just playing the long game, and if someone just happens to get that enchantment out and without it being countered or anything, they get it to level 3. So now it puts the control player on a clock in a sense that, okay, if they just let Vraska, whatever it's called, come out, then they lose. It's like you could be at full life. That's just going to take you down. At least with like a lot of win con things like Jace, you'd have to mill them for like 15 at a time. But that deck's scary in the sense that I could just, boom, just do that. Even if the other player is so far ahead of the game. Might actually make that deck sooner than I think because I actually have 4 of that enchantment class. Alright, what are we doing here? Get rid of one of the cases. Speaking of cases, going for the case. Uh-oh, we're going for some aggro matchup, huh? Not aggro, mono black discard, but... beat him down. Fool, I didn't need that card. Alright, so now we are forced to Mishra's Foundry and attack for 5. Okay. Take 2, I draw another land. Gonna swing, 2 damage. Oh, I forgot to use the Foundry. I'm so forgetful. I can't believe I just did that. Oh my god. Oh no, another land. Okay. It's okay, calm down. Everything's gonna be okay, guys. Don't worry. I take the 5. I play a land. I draw a bunch of cards. Does that change anything? Did I get it, really? So now I go for my 5-drop. Oh, well, I have to sacrifice it first. Silly me. I mean, either way, I go for Tinybones. I play Tinybones, I win the game. Because this will do damage to him. So, okay. I still don't like doing silly little misplays with Mishra's Foundry. I'm like in the middle of a rant about just what I'm doing, and I totally forgot to do something. Whoopsie. It's embarrassing, but I still managed to get it. Alright, I have a bone to pick with the next opponent. See, I made a skeleton joke. Okay. This is cool. I don't like opening up a multiple of this. I feel like it's you just need to open up with one. Like, there's some good cards to open up with 2 of, and that's definitely not one of them either. It's like the algorithm of the game is just going on based off of what I say, just to keep me off balance. Imagine if that was a thing. Alright, so go swamp, and we're gonna swing for 2. We're gonna trade? Yep. And we go for a case. Preacher hits the board. Menace is always a good thing. And what also kind of stinks is having multiple cases of the cash skeleton will mess up solving it, which I'm figuring out right now. But we're gonna make it happen. Get a little life from guy, so get some pressure on. It's the best I can do at the moment. Really never occurred to me how bad it is to have 2 of this at the same time. Oh, it's so nice. I'm just missing whatchamacallit right now. The 5th lands, and then this is gonna be alive. So you could change that up at least, which is gonna be good. So he's gonna go double block. Why'd you do that? Do that. Bring it back too, which is going to be nice. So we're going to commit a crime, triggering the miner to come back, making our opponent discard and take a life. Okay. Well, I mean, they mill a card and lose a life. The discard's on activation. Shoulder hits the board. Everybody gets a buff. Alright, so it's not looking too good. I'm so dead. I lose next turn. I can't block with any of these guys, so that's literally 11 damage. Skeletons go back to their grave. Okay, we're gonna do one more game just because mono black skeletons are just that cool. So let's just see what I could do. I think the ideal hand. The ideal hand for this deck. I'm actually trying to think. It's definitely not the ideal hand. This is a weird one. Do I keep this? Why would I keep this? I'm gonna keep it. I could 1-for-1 a lot of things. I just need to draw lands, right? I mean, I feel like I could end our opponent mulligans, so we are definitely ahead of them. Like I said, now I just gotta. Oh, they're playing red too, so this is really good. The go for the throats are gonna keep them at bay. Lands. Go for the throat. Alright. I'm gonna pass. I could go for another Tinybones Joins Up, but it's not worth it right now. Our opponent's gonna be doing some angry gruel stuff. They swing with both, or are they gonna use a combat spell or whatever? I don't know, but we're gonna get rid of this since they're not. They'll probably use it on the Phoenix now, if anything. If they're desperate. Yep, that's what they're going for. Monstrous Rage. Okay, we're going to hold off on that just for me to take 2. I'm just seeing if I'd play reactive. Good call. So I don't have another land, but I do have 2 go for the throats. So I do feel safe, but I'm very uneasy at the same time this game. Okay, now this is where it's going to shine for me. The audacity of me, huh? Well, we both have 2 lands, so at least we both understand what's going on. Look at that. I could go for the miner and start swinging, but I think I am going to get rid of one of his 2 cards in his hand. It's just all about putting him off balance, especially with a deck with a smaller ceiling than mine. And then once we're in the top deck war, I will have a better recovery than him. That's how I see it with his deck. Because his deck needs a creature and some kind of spell. Mine doesn't. I'm just going to beat him down with skeletons at this point. The 2-mana battle. If they destroy my skeleton, I will get a land with this effect. Mark my words. Still didn't draw it. Alright, so I'm gonna swing for 2. Play the miner. Alright. I wish I was more excited that I drew this 3rd land now, but it's whatever at this point. We're gonna hit for 4. And then summon the Cult Conscript at the 2nd main. And then have go for the throat. But our opponent might have other plans. Look at that. And that's it for now. Okay. our turn. We got the third one. It's amazing. Okay, so we're gonna go for another 2/2 with our good old Mishra's Foundry. Here to help out these awkward turns. Oh my god. It's just it's a cruel game. It's funny. Our opponent is also keeping us off balance, and this is hilarious. I love it. So they finally get a creature. What are they gonna do with it? All out, huh? Okay. So I take 5. Alright, I have something for you. How about this? I would love to bring out my card in the graveyard if I had extra mana. Get him down to 8. We just have to get them to stop playing the game of Magic by not playing anything. This would have been the 4th land, but no. Lightning Strike. Get him down to 6. And then the Cult Conscript enters the field. Yeah, that was a crazy one. Good game, dude. That was funny. I'm sure our opponent had a good laugh with that one, maybe. But, anyway, subscribe if you have not already, and like the video. More videos to come. If there's any kind of content you guys are interested in besides the deck list, let me know. And yeah, take care.